Welcome into the Capitol Center here in Carmichael on the campus of Sacramento Adventist Academy. Alongside my broadcast partner, Aaron Jackson, I'm Matthew Bissett, and we are excited to bring you our ABC Jam Productions Game of the Week between the Faith Christian Lions and the Sac Adventist Capitals. This is a rematch of actually the last two Sac Joaquin Section Division 6 championships, with Sac Adventist winning the first of those two, and this past year won by the Faith Christian Lions. Faith Christian led by head coach Jeff Harris, 17-1 on the year. They are now in D5 for the playoffs. And then, of course, Sac Adventist led by head coach Scott Tedman in his first full year leading the girls program. Aaron, it's going to be a fun one tonight. Sac Adventist a little short-handed here tonight, but still we could see history made in this very gym here today.
Yeah, Faith Christian, who we got the pleasure of covering their game on Saturday when they played John Adams Academy. Lauren Harris, 50 points in that game, hit 10 threes. She is now only 9 threes away from tying the national record, 10 away from breaking it. The record, of course, held by Aaliyah Chavez of Monterey High out in Texas. So that's the big thing I think a lot of people will be watching for. A lot of people will be watching for tonight. But also you got other great players out there on the floor for the Lions. Presley Berry's averaging 17.6 points per game. Mia Bryan can get the job done out there as well. You mentioned the Capitals shorthanded. Yeah, they're without Gwen Rosick and Kyla Friedrich, their top two scorers on the year. They both just played in a big tournament, Adventist tournament down at Pacific Union College in Angwin this past week. Came second in that. So a little shorthanded, but they still got Caroline Henderson, the sophomore forward out there. She's averaging 9.5 points per game, 4 rebounds. She's become a much more physical player in the post and much improved since last season. And then they got some other younger players out there to try to get some time. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they adapt to being out there on the floor for a longer period of time.
And so the starters for Faith Christian, previously mentioned, number 5, Lauren Harris, number 11, Mia Bryan. Mia Bryan kind of makes up the third of the three-headed monster for this Faith Christian team. Presley Berry, number 21, number 15, Hannah Hessong, and number 42, Mandy Fitzgerald, rounds out the starting 5 for Faith Christian. For Sac Adventist, number 10, Caroline Henderson, number 12, Leanne Wagner, number 13, Ashley Crary, number 20, Audrey Welty, and number 23, Ivy Rasmussen. So a lot of new faces and a chance for this young Sac Adventist team to make a name for themselves here tonight. But, of course, no Rosick and no Friedrich for the Capitals. Going to make things very difficult. Here's Mia Bryan with it to start things off. And then Presley Berry in the post. Berry, top of the key three. This one is short, and the ball will go back to the Capitals.
It's pretty awesome when you have a league. It's a D5, D6 league, and you have the number of girls playing at the next level. Of course, we saw Elliott Schwartz. She's going to Jessup, and then you got Lauren Harris going to Long Beach State and Presley Berry going to Concordia. Pretty cool. You have multiple players from this league playing at the next level.
Here's Ashley Curry that's Leanne Wagner with it. We get down to Henderson down the post. Crary with short jump shot, it's good. And that's Ashley Curry with the game's first basket. And without Rosick and Friedrich, you kind of wonder where the points are going to come from. And right away they go inside to Berry, and Presley Berry has her first basket of the game. Berry likely to go over 2,000 points for her career before all's said and done.
Yeah, and was a fantastic defender as well. Had 8 blocks in that win over the Patriots on Saturday.
So 2-2. Here, just over a minute gone by in this first quarter. Curry outside to Henderson. Firing up a three is Rasmussen, and it goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Faith Christian. So here comes Lauren Harris, Long Beach State bound, 9 threes away from tying that national record. Swings it over to Presley Berry. Her three is too strong. Good box out there from Rasmussen. And the rebound, Karams to Welty. And we're going to get a timeout, Sac Adventist. So Coach Scott Tedman wants to talk things over with his crew
And, we're only 90 seconds into the game, but, if you're Coach Tedman and you're Adventist, knowing what you were going to be in for coming into tonight, this is probably the best 90 seconds of basketball you could have asked for to open the game. You get a nice early jumper from Crary, and then you play some relatively good defense on the other side of the ball. Crary is just a freshman. That's another player that Tedman has spoken about with me multiple times on the year. She's strong. She's kind of learning the fundamentals, but she's absorbing things like a sponge out there. And you can see, she's kind of developing that jumper, and she's also, getting to the right spots.
She also got hurt before the season,
yep.
So she missed some time. She missed about, the first 7 or 8 weeks of the season. And she is back and in the starting lineup here today. And here comes Audrey Welty, the sophomore. It's a very young Sac Adventist team. Only 2 seniors on the roster. And they have 17 girls on this roster. It's like half the campus plays girls basketball here.
A great future ahead, you have to imagine. Number 1 in the Division 6 bracket right now.
Leanne Wagner loses it, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. So a turnover back to Faith Christian.
I think there's some confusion. They were like, are we playing on or are we going at the violation?
It's always awkward when that buzzer sounds right as the ball's turned over. Here's Harris, gets a screen. Looking for some space. Good defense there. Now there was a left-handed pass down low to Hannah Hessong. Can't get it to go. Hannah gets it back. Out to Barry. Barry drives the lane. No good. Rebound tapped out to Bryan, and it's taken away by Welty.
You could tell, Harris wanted to get to her spot, going to the left side, and the Capitals did a good job kind of pressuring her, not letting her get to that spot. She gave it up, and the Lions were unable to score.
Rasmussen will fire from 3, no good. Harris trying to corral the rebound. It's knocked out of bounds off of Wagner, and so it'll go back to Faith Christian. But, yeah, they're doing a nice job of bracketing Lauren Harris. They don't want to let her get to her left hand. She gets the screen going to her right, launches from 3, too strong. Long rebound. Harris gets it back. Harris, 2-point shot now. Too strong again, maybe a little fired up tonight. Barry comes away with the offensive rebound. Over to Bryan, who will lay it up and in. Good defense other than collecting the defensive rebound there by the Capitals.
But a great job on the glass, too. You got to credit the Lions there. Got a third chance opportunity. Harris struggled a little bit early in that game against the Patriots as well, but she found her shot. You got to imagine she's going to find it at some point.
Here's Wagner with it. Leanne Wagner looking for Ashley Crary. Crary, a little step back. This one's off the mark. And here comes Harris. Harris up ahead to Bryan. Bryan will scoop it up. No good. Presley Berry with the rebound. She goes back up. Bryan again, no good. The lid kind of on the bucket there. And a turnover in the backcourt. Finally, the Capitals corral it, and it'll be Welty to bring it up towards midcourt, taking their time. Barry comes up to pressure the basketball, and she commits a foul.
Yeah, that's the tough thing is when you have the size of somebody like Barry who's 6 foot, maybe even 6'1" out there, just grabbing boards. You have to put multiple bodies on her to box her out and be able to grab the rebound. So Faith Christian also really solid team on the glass, and that's also a big part of their success.
They're extending this 2-3 zone a bit, trying to create some turnovers. 3 on the way from Wagner. She crashed in, trying to get her own rebound, can't corral it. Harris rifles a pass up ahead to Barry, and she'll finish at the other end. Harris perfectly content to facilitate right now, only taking those 2 shots thus far. Both came on the same possession. Harris nearly jumped in that passing lane. That ball's knocked out of bounds off of Leanne Wagner's knee, and it'll be a turnover back to the Lions. Wagner and Curry with the defense on Harris. Harris drives baseline. Out to Barry. Barry will load up from 3. Got it! Presley Barry's got 7 early on here for Faith Christian.
Yeah, she can hit it from outside as well. Sometimes effortlessly, just like Harris. So got to watch for that shot. They're doing a good job of doubling and pressuring Harris so far in this game.
Henderson baseline drive, the floater. Can't find the range. Here comes Harris. Up ahead to Bryan, and Bryan will lay it up on the break. It is just too good in transition from Faith Christian. And a timeout, going to be a full timeout with 2:45 to play in the first quarter. We'll step away. We'll be back from the Capitol Center. (11-2) coming out of the timeout. Faith Christian, one of the top teams in the Sac Joaquin section. And no matter of division, their only loss this year came in a 2-point loss to Chico, 60-58. This team has won 2 championships in the last 3 years and made it to a third. Oh, and Henderson catched it, but steps on the sideline right in front of the Faith bench. And here comes Lauren Harris. Looking to get a screen. Harris. Wagner and Crary doing a nice job, but you can't stop Presley Berry, too.
Yeah, it's a pick your poison kind of thing when it comes to this Lions squad. If you're going to pressure Lauren, they'll find a way to get it into Presley, and Presley's doing the job so far.
Presley's got 9. 13-2. Here comes Crary with it. Pass deflected. Henderson driving the lane. Blocked by Berry. And then Wagner. Great job on the glass there, but she's out of bounds, and that'll give the ball back to Faith Christian, who's checking in for the first time is number 4, Isabella Pacheco, the sophomore, for the Capitals. So Coach Tedman goes to his bench. Harris pulls up 3. Got it! Her first 3 of the game. Number 631 of the career for Lauren Harris.
You knew she was going to find the shot eventually. It was just a matter of when.
Crary driving. Good defense there from Hessong. 9 seconds to shoot now for the Capitals. And there's a man look here from Faith Christian. You don't usually see them come out of that zone.
You got to get a shot up.
And they're not going to be able to do it. Can't even get inside the 3-point line there. I think the man defense kind of threw them off a bit. So 16-2. 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Harris looking for a screen. Gives it up and gets it back. Harris will pull from deep. This one's short. Rebound corralled by Rasmussen. And she finds Leanne Wagner on the break. Wagner has it knocked away. Good hustle there by Mandy Fitzgerald. Now get some fresh bodies coming in the game for Faith Christian. Just checking in is Ella Haberly, Amber Smith, and who's the last one? Oh, Abby Cunningham is the last one to check in here. They get into Rasmussen. She'll pull from 3. No good. Berry with the rebound.
It's probably one of the best looks they've had since mid-quarter.
Here's Harris. With Crary on her. Crary doing a nice job to move the feet. Harris gets a screen. She fires away and she can't get it to go. So Harris is 1 of 3 from 3 so far. Or maybe 1 of 4. That shot's off the mark from Crary, and here comes Lauren Harris. Second difference in the shot clock and game clock. Harris for three, and she got it again. That's 2 threes for Lauren Harris. She's got 6.
They kind of stopped putting multiple bodies on her because, again, it's pick your poison. They say, let's let her shoot the ball. She's a little cold right now, and now she's made a couple.
Berry with the steal. Here come the Lions. Berry going all the way to the cup, and she gets fouled. And that'll send Presley Berry to the line as she's got 9 points, looking for double figures. How remarkable is it for a school the size of Faith Christian? You got these 2 girls in the same class. They're both seniors. One just went over 3,000 points next week, and in the next couple weeks here, this one's going to go over 2,000 points for her career. I would venture to guess there's not many basketball teams, boys or girls, in the country that have 2 kids the same class that go over 2,000 and 3,000 points respectively.
And I mean, at minimum, people can say, look at the teams they play, but even with that, I mean, you look at some of the wins they've had. Lauren Harris is still a minimum top 5 player in the section. Barry's up there probably top 20, top 25. Extremely special season and talent that this squad has.
21-2 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back for the second here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABCJAMPRO Productions. Alongside Aaron Jackson, I'm Matthew Bassett. Thank you once again for joining us here at ABCJAMPRO Productions on the NFHS Network as we get set for the second quarter to begin here at Sac Adventist. (21-2) after one. The 3-headed monster that is Harris, Berry, and Bryan getting it done for Faith Christian. Ashley Curry, the freshman, the only basket of the game for the Capitals. Here's Berry up ahead to Bryan. Bryan goes right to the cup, and she'll lay it up and in. Bryan is no nonsense. When she catches, you know where she's going. She's going to the rim.
She does a good job getting to her spots. And I mean, credit to Mandy Fitzgerald, who really started that possession with great defense and a good pass that led to everything getting started.
Henderson was open for a moment in the corner, but couldn't catch it cleanly. Curry in the lane, blocked by Berry. Berry at 6 feet 2 inches tall. Just a nightmare to deal with in the inside. Berry, left wing 3. No good. Long rebound to Henderson. Now here comes Isabella Pacheco. Stolen by Harris. Harris rifles a pass up ahead to Bryan, and Bryan will finish at the other end.
Yeah, Harris being the distributor in this game already with 4 assists here in the first half.
Well, the temptation to, just shoot away for that record has to be there, but she's still just playing with her teammates and making the right plays regardless of the noise.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing is, obviously, you know you're going to get the record, but you want to play good basketball. I mean, you want to make sure that, everybody's doing what they need to do come, postseason time. I mean, I think that Coach Harris and staff, they're planning for what hopefully will be a deep playoff run.
Sac Adventist inbounds, 10 seconds to shoot here. And that's going to be a walk. Turnover back to Faith Christian. Here's Berry, little jab step, drive to the paint, lays it up with the left hand. Berry having a nice game so far. She's up to 13 to lead all scorers, and a timeout 30-second timeout. Coach Tedman takes his third timeout of the game.
Yeah, first step that she made to just get by the defender. I mean, she's got, everything that you want in a great basketball player, too. And, I mean, again, you could see just out here the skills that she has and why she's playing at the next level.
Just so decisive for all these Faith Christian girls, especially the three that we've alluded to.
The Division V playoffs are going to be really fun this year. You know, we obviously got a chance to watch John Adams Academy on Saturday, but you also got Bret Hart in there that's competitive, Woodland Christian.
Bret Hart is the defending champion.
Bret Hart, the defending champion.
Woodland Christian last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a war come the semifinals in Division V.
And Bret Hart's returning some of their best players from last year. Should be a fun year. Basketball playoffs are always fun. Got to win 4 straight to win a championship. Wagner nearly lost on the drive. Here comes Henderson on the elbow. And that's a shot clock violation there. They just can't find any breathing room against this Faith Christian defense to get a shot off. And
even when they're getting good passes off, you look at Brian, even Hessong on that play and how quick they are to still recover, too.
Harris steps into a 3, rolls out. Barry on a mission. Barry! And she'll head to the line. Yeah, that's a weapon in and of itself at 6'2". I mean, you don't see a lot of girls at 6'2" in D1 or D2. And here you got a D5 team. Well, really, I mean, they're really a D6 team, but because of the continued success they've had, you know, Barry and Lauren Harris played in a championship game their freshman year.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's only 57 kids that go to the school, so
yeah, it was
pretty darn good team.
I was just on campus earlier actually counting the kids. Here's Barry with a steal. Barry came to play today. Here's Harris. Drives baseline, little runner, good. Boy, when she gets set with those 2 feet, it's over with. Rasmussen kind of got caught off guard there. Good help defense from Hessong. Came over and Rasmussen almost looked startled. A couple of fresh bodies in there. Mariah Eli in the game for Faith Christian as Harris misses everything on that 3, and Kimber Cunningham, the sophomore, is in the game as well. So 30-12. And here's Harris. Harris going to pull from 3. Can't get it to go. Bryan with the rebound.
You could just see just the selflessness on that play from Harris. She's really wanting to give it up. She wants to find an open teammate. She realizes, hey, nobody's open, so at this point I'm just going to take it.
She waited about as long as possible. Almost like she was waiting for rebounders to get down there. Here's a shot from Welty. That's no good. And here comes Harris. Harris trying to get Cunningham involved, and Barry comes up with it somehow, and she is fouled. Barry continues to be active. 14 points in the game and looking for more here at the charity stripe. She's approaching 1,900 points for her career. Gwen Rosick, who's not playing tonight for Sac Adventist, just crossed over the 1,000-point threshold last week.
Like Chloe America just checked in for Sac Adventist, another one of those freshmen.
And Barry misses both that time. Here come the Capitals. Remember, this game was 2-0 Sac Adventist. Two primary scorers out of the game, and it was always going to be a tough task for Coach Tedman's group. Here's Wagner for three. She almost banked it in. Good hustle there by Wagner, though. She taps the rebound to Crary. Crary pulls up, no good. Rebound, Cunningham. Now here comes Barry. Over to Cunningham. Gets it down low and put it up and in. That's Kiana Marin. And a timeout as Marin gets her first bucket of the game. Nice moment for the senior. And the score is 34-2. Timeout, Faith Christian. Here in the second half of the second quarter. So yeah, it doesn't look like, I don't know if we're going to be getting a record-setting night here tonight. Just might run out of time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much they play Harris in the second half, if they do at all, depending on how things go right here. But, I mean, there's great talent. Everybody, looks at Brian, Harris, and Barry, but Faith Christian's got, Hannah Hessong had 8 points in that game on Saturday, and a lot of it came in that first half when, they were kind of struggling a little bit to get into a little bit of a flow and shooting flow. So, I mean, they got other girls who can step up at any given moment, but, I mean, you just look at the talent out there with especially Barry and Harris, and you see why this team is still one of the top teams in Division 5 despite being moved up.
All right, here comes Welty with it. Audrey Welty, the sophomore, gets into Crary, and Crary with a strong take there, and she's heading to the free throw line. So Crary has the only basket of the game for Sac Adventist, and this freshman who Coach Tedman's very high on. A chance to add to her point total here. 3:20 to go in the first half. The first free throw is in and out. Scheduling in the league did Sac Adventist no favors as they had Faith Christian today and then Valley Christian on Thursday as Crary rolls in the second free throw. Cunningham. Good ball movement here in this unit for Faith Christian. Cunningham, no good. Rebound. Henderson can't quite control. Here's Marin again. Same spot, same result. Deanna Marin.
The thing I love most about this Faith Christian team is whenever they are able to get the other girls in the game, the bench always goes wild and loud whenever one of those girls makes a bucket. And that's just how you could tell the team has great chemistry. They all love one another.
Wagner with the drive, the lefty runner off glass. Leanne Wagner with a bucket. Yeah, you can see it in the pregame. There's a togetherness of these Faith Christian girls. They were dancing, having fun while they were warming up. Every time a shot went in and warm-ups, they got loud. Cunningham, no good. Rebound. Controlled by Wagner. Boy, Leanne Wagner's not afraid to get to the glass here. Here's Henderson at the elbow. Henderson heaves one up, no good, and here comes Haberly. Marin, that pass down low. And that's going to be an offensive foul or a walk. Mariah Eli, the freshman, a little too ambitious under the hoop there. As Amber Smith checks back in. Here comes... But you mentioned Chloe Merka being in the game already. Henderson, long two, no good. Rebound. Haberly comes away with it. Cunningham for three, in and out.
That looked good. I thought that was going down.
The whole bench thought it was going down too. The whole Faith Christian bench stood up, thinking that one was going to drop. Here's Crary. Out to Henderson. Henderson for three. Too strong. Rebound. Nearly tracked down by Merka. 36-5, 105 to go here in the first half. Cunningham baseline drive, knocked away, but she was fouled.
And, these are really important moments because despite the fact, these are the players you don't typically see that are the stars, getting, the buckets and the scores. These are the players you might need out on the floor any given time in a deep playoff run, whether it's, some of those players are in foul trouble, whether it's, they're struggling out there having a rough game. Any given player at any given time might need to step up in a deep playoff run. So getting these quality minutes right now could come back really huge later in the season.
You're spot on about that, partner. And Cunningham banks in the second free throw. Abby Cunningham with her first point of the game. Wagner for three. No good. Good rebound from Cunningham, and then a carrying violation. The ball kind of got a little away from her there. She tried to get up the floor. Wagner hit the side of the backboard, got her own miss. Here's Crary with it now. Back out to Pacheco, now back to Crary. Crary, quick trigger shot, no good. And Crary knocks it out of bounds. It'll be...
One thing I'm liking, despite the fact, Adventist has, struggled scoring this first half, even when they miss, they're really quick to try to get to the ball and still be physical on the glass. You could see the physicality even on the attempts of some of the offensive rebounds.
That's Esther Borling. No good on that shot. And here comes Pacheco. Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds to go here. Good hands there from Merca. Into Crary. Crary spins off glass, no good. 2 seconds. Wagner with a steal, but not going to have time to get it off. So 37-5 after one half of basketball. We'll be back for the second half here on the NFHS Network. Back for the second half here in the Capitol Center in this SMAL league matchup. Right now it's all Faith Christian, 37-5 over the shorthanded Sac Adventist Capitals. Once again, alongside Aaron Jackson, I'm Matthew Bissett. Thank you for joining us here at ABCJAMPRO Productions on the NFHS Network. Well, the question is right now, Aaron, are we going to see any Lauren Harris, Presley Berry, Mia Bryan in the second half of this game?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Probably a couple minutes. I think they'll probably let the score get to like a 40-point game, and then once it gets to that, they'll probably, I imagine, pull them out and let everybody else kind of get a chance. So we'll probably see maybe 3 or 4 minutes of Lauren and Presley, and then after that we'll go from there. Presley Berry, what a great half for her, 14 points in that first half.
She was no nonsense throughout. Harris can't get that three to fall. Mia Bryan with the offensive rebound. And her pass, trying to get back out to Harris, is deflected in a turnover into the hands of Audrey Welty. Faith Christian back in their 2-3 zone. A little different look this time, though, with Presley Berry down low alongside Lauren Harris. Oh, here comes Harris into the front court. Harris going to stop and pop. Got it. Her third triple of the game. 6 away from tying that record.
And they play, I believe, Sacramento Country Day on Friday at home. So if she doesn't get it today, she'll have another chance there.
Here's Leanne Wagner. She was active in that first half. A lot of rebounds. Welty can't get the shot to go. Here comes Harris again. Harris from the corner. Got it! Back-to-back for Lauren Harris. The count is going on, and you can see everybody's kind of thinking about it. I mean, such a big thing to be able to break a national record. And she's going to do it. It's just a matter of when. Here's Bryan. Bryan from the top of the key, no good. Rebound, Leanne Wagner with the rebound.
Yeah, she's already got 3 boards in the game, doing a nice job crashing the glass. You kind of mentioned that a little bit in the first half.
There's been a couple she's gotten her hands on, too, where it didn't come up with the rebound, but she's just been so active getting after it. And that pass in the backcourt is going to be a turnover as Rasmussen touches it, and it'll go back to Faith Christian. 43-35, or 43-25, I should say. Here's Bryan down low in the post. Back out to Harris. Catch and shoot triple. Short. Rebound. Pass back out to Berry, who will knock it down. Hessong with the rebound, and she finds Berry. That's Berry's second triple of the game.
I talked about Hessong scoring on Saturday, but she also did a great job on the glass as well. I think she had about 5 rebounds in the game.
And a timeout, Capitals, with 5:33 to go in the third quarter. I believe it's a full timeout. We'll step away. We'll be right back here on the NFHS Network. Back out of the timeout, 46-5. Again, Sac Adventist shorthanded, but this Faith Christian team, if you remember from the opening, 17-1 on the year. They are, again, Presley Berry and Lauren Harris in their 4 years of high school basketball, they don't know what it's like to not play for a section championship.
They've beaten Placer, a team who's going to be gunning for a Division III section title in the Sac Joaquin, and then they lost to Chico, a team who's one of the best teams up in the northern section. So, I mean, they're competing with teams even higher than where they're at division-wise.
Here's Curry. Your shot is blocked by Presley Berry. It's got to be at least 3 or 4 blocks by Berry. Here's Harris. When they find Berry in the lane, over to Bryan. Harris in the corner to Berry. Lays it up and in. Pretty basketball there from the Lions.
Yeah, they move it around really well. It's everybody out there. It isn't just Berry, isn't just Harris, isn't just Bryan. I mean, everybody's moving the ball around really well out there.
Pass deflected, but maintaining the possession are the Capitals. Henderson will try from 3. No good. Rebound, Lauren Harris. Harris drives in. Little scoop off the glass. Nice basket there from Lauren Harris, but not from the range that everybody in the gym wants to see. Rasmussen will try from deep. Too strong. Rebound, Hessong. Here comes Faith Christian. 50-5. Harris got 16 points in the game. Harris dumps it down to Bryan. Kicking the shot to go. Thought maybe she got fouled there. No call.
You could tell even initially when Harris got the ball at about 31 feet from the hoop, she even thought about it from there.
I mean, she has that sort of range. It's just, it looks effortless, too. That shot from Curry in and out. She's played a nice game. It's hard to get in their offense without Rosick and Friedrich. What a feed there from Harris as she finds Bryan for the lay-in and a timeout. Faith Christian, and that might be the night here for...
So I mean, consider this. I mean, obviously, you look at Harris's averages on the year, right? And like 31.6 points per game, 13.3 boards, 5.7 assists. Even though she's probably going to be out of the game here, we imagine, or, you know, not playing the minutes that she's used to, which is usually 32 minutes in a game, she's still going to finish with 16 points, 4 triples, 6 assists. That's a pretty good night for any other given person in the section.
When you think about that scoring average, over 30 a game, how many fourth quarters have the 3 of them sat out? I mean, I imagine with the lopsided scores they have, they've sat quite a few fourth quarters, I would imagine.
It's funny you mention that because she leads the nation in points per 32 minutes.
Points per 32. Got it. Okay.
It's still in the game.
3 minutes to go here in the third. Henderson will try from 3 again. No good. Hessong another rebound. Now here comes Berry. Bryan, baseline jump shot, good. It's been fun to watch Bryan's growth over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and she's usually been the person that kind of, cleans stuff up, down, low, but she's made a couple of jumpers out here tonight. She's shown she's got some range as well.
And she's a really good athlete. Sometimes she gets overlooked a bit, I think, by some because of who her teammates are, but she is a heck of a basketball player. And now here comes the bench unit. The bench mob. They're checking at the scorer's table. Here's Bryan with it out top. Berry's going to try a 3 from the wing. No good. And Bryan with the rebound. Pass deflected by Pacheco. And Harris loses it out of bounds. And now here come all the subs with 2:05 to play in the third. Kiara Jin checking in for the first time for Sac Adventist. As the sophomore, Pacheco will bring it up. 2 minutes to go in the third. And here's a steal. This is Haberly. Haberly into the front court. She hits the brakes, and they'll move the ball around the perimeter. There's Cunningham to Cunningham. Missed the first one. Second one's up and in. That's Kimber Cunningham with the bucket. Her first basket of the game. Here's Henderson looking to go to work from the foul line. No good. Gets the rebound, then can't put it back up and in. Here come the Lions. That's going to be off of Sac Adventist. Sorry, I know your camera's kind of cut off there at home, folks. And hard to get the whole court here with the baseline shot we got in this small gym, the Capitol Center. Here's Cunningham. That's Borleen. Cunningham drives, baseline, off the side of the backboard. Haberly with the rebound. Down to Cunningham, who flips it up and in. Abby Cunningham with the shot of the night.
Welcome to the circus, folks.
Ashley Curry tries one from three, no good. And maybe a double dribble there, no call. Short shot there from Ely. Shot clock turned off. Here come the Capitals. Merca not looking for it, though, and that's going to be turned over. As Pacheco was looking to send Merca, but she wasn't looking for the basketball. And in checks Akis Tui. Borleen has a shot blocked to end the third quarter. 58-5 at the end of three. We'll be back for the fourth quarter here on the NFHS Network. Back out of the timeout. 58-5. The score to start the fourth. And Harris, Barry, and Bryan coming back out there here in the fourth. Pass deflected and going out of bounds. It's Ezriela Emanuel. A little miscommunication there on the part of the Capitals. And Harris going to pull from three, in and out. Barry with the rebound, down to Bryan, who lays it up and in.
It's kind of an ironic situation, you know. They got to bring the stars back in, maybe to just give some of the bench players a little bit of rest, too.
Oh, and Pacheco drills one from straight away. Isabella Pacheco, her first basket of the game. Get a good view of that here from right behind her. Harris for three, and she gets another. Fifth three of the game for Lauren Harris. She's 4 away from history here. 4 from the tie, 5 to be all alone. (63-8) the score. Pacheco with the runner. It's good, and she's fouled. I've always said Isabella Pacheco is a fourth quarter performer. She's certainly showing it here.
That's why she's got 4 on her jersey.
Matches the jersey number. You got to show up in the fourth. Can't convert the 3-point play. Harris finds Hessong. Hessong lays it up and in. First basket of the game for Hannah Hessong, the senior. Tui can't handle that pass, and they'll turn over back to Faith Christian. Harris catch and shoot triple. No good. Rebound secured by Emmanuel. (65-10). 5 minutes to go in the game. Pacheco fires another 3. That one looked good, but just a bit short. Here's Harris from the corner. 3 on the way. Got it! Are we going for it here? I don't know. Lauren Harris with her 6th 3 of the game. And Barry with another block shot. Pass up ahead to Smith. Smith loses her footing. And a jump ball. Good sportsmanship there from Barry to help Emmanuel up off the floor. And now Lauren Harris checks out for quite possibly the last time. Just about 4 minutes to go in this game. Running clock. Barry for 3. Got it! And a timeout, Faith Christian.
Harris and Barry both with 22 tonight.
71-10 the score.
The big 3 getting the job done, counting for, I believe, 58 of the 71.
As they tend to do. Actually, I'd imagine they've had games where they have a far higher percentage of the team's total points they do tonight. But, you know, any championship team, right, it's always fun to score the ball and do all these things. But I'm sure Lauren and Presley and Mia would tell you that they can't win without these other girls on the team, right? Who do you practice against? How do you prepare for the game? And you know, there's always things that need to be done. You can't win with just 3 players on the floor.
Yeah, it's always fun to see, you know, who else is going to step up any given night. I mean, this is a small school basketball team that's going to be remembered for decades to come in this section.
No doubt. I covered a team up in Washington when I was there that had Jaden McDaniels and Tari Eason, 2 young men that would go on to play in the NBA. And I remember their coach telling me that everybody on his team is a star in their role. And Faith Christian and Sac Adventist, but Faith Christian, who we're talking about, everybody on their team is a star in their role. Yes, Lauren Harris and Presley Berry are going to get the headlines, but it takes all of them. I've yet to see 2 or 3 girls or 2 or 3 players win a championship. Merka with the offensive rebound. She puts it back up and in. Chloe Merka, the freshman, with the basket. Going to be a 3 in the key call on Faith Christian. Turns it over back to the Capitals. Here comes Ashley Crary. Just crossover there by Crary. And Crary's going to get called for the walk. Here's Haberly across midcourt. Here's Smith in the lane again. Smith tries to fire a pass down low, stolen by Wagner, and Wagner has it ripped away. Possession arrow will favor Sac Adventist, though. So 2:30 to play in the game. This wasn't to be a historical night. Got to imagine that in front of the home fans on Friday night, that's when Lauren Harris will make history. And it's just a matter of how much separation does she put between her and the rest of the field in total and career three-pointers, because it's not going to be close.
I think it's also important, factor in, I think what Coach Tedman's doing, managing the roster he has, I think it's really smart, because the big picture thing is, you're trying to compete for a section championship in Division VI, potentially a state championship. And so it's smart to, give these girls an opportunity to play out here as well.
And Smith can't get the lay-in to go. Rebound by Crary. 90 seconds to go in the game. Crary from the foul line, no good. Crary not shy here. And going to be a walk in the backcourt as Amber Smith was looking for an outlet and there was nobody home. And timeout, Faith Christian with 1:14 to play. You might be thinking, well, why call the timeout here? Well, there's always every opportunity in a game is an opportunity to be coached, right? To coach something. So whatever you're seeing, you got to coach it. And this is some of these girls are the future of the Faith Christian program.
Yeah, I think it's important go over every little thing that you can in these kinds of moments. And again, even though you're up big, you still want to finish strong, and that might mean, hey, just grabbing a rebound. It might just mean throwing, good passes, not having, turnovers. And so, he probably sees that turnover. Coach Harris probably sees that turnover in the backcourt and says, hey, here's what we could do better next time. Here's what we could do to, just control the basketball a little bit better. So, always, as you mentioned, everything's, a situational thing.
So you got to imagine one last break of the timeout here, and they're back out on the floor. We'll be back here at Sac Adventist. I'll be back here at Sac Adventist on Thursday for their Coaches versus Cancer game against Valley Christian. And that's one of those that just tells you there's something a little bit bigger than basketball out there. And here's Pacheco with it. Excited to be back here at the Capitol Center for that one. The best small school girls basketball league in the country. I'm comfortable saying it. It's going to be interesting to see who's available for the Capitals on that night. Free throw line jump shot is good. As it rolls home, that's Kimber Cunningham, her second basket of the second half. Wagner short on that shot. Rebound secured by Marin, but she steps on the baseline. Ball will remain with Sac Adventist. Clock running. 11 seconds to go in the game. Here's Crary, and she was looking for Pacheco. Here comes Cunningham. Stolen away by Crary, and that'll do it. 73-12. The final. It was just not meant to be a historic night, but Lauren Harris should get to break that record in front of her home fans on Friday night. But you got to see the star power of Faith behind Harris, Barry, and, of course, Mia Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, again, those are the three players that we always have to watch for any given night. You know, when it's Harris that isn't shooting the ball well, we saw, her struggle a little bit early. She missed some shots. Barry, though, took over, and Barry, was able to get some offensive rebounds, put it back up. She made a couple shots from deep. And then Mia Bryan, she was kind of cleaning up everything, but she also was getting out in transition, getting some good looks, and made a couple of shots from deep as well. Or made a couple of jumpers out there as well. So, any of those players can go off on any given night, and, they all did a great job out here tonight.
Well, that'll do it for our coverage. The final, once again, 73-12. Faith Christian improves to 18-1 on the year. Sac Adventist looking to get healthy, and again, they got bigger things to worry about. Looking for a D6 championship under Coach Scott Tedman. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for Sac Adventist for hosting us. For my broadcast partner, Aaron Jackson, I'm Matthew Bissett, saying good night for ABC Jam Productions.